What if an old sketchbook could draw maps to places that no longer exist? An urban explorer, guided by a self-writing journal, discovers a forgotten hotel where the past isn't just a memory, it's a living, breathing echo. Teaming up with the hotel's reluctant heir, they must unravel a mystery written in invisible ink and ghostly visions. But they soon realize, some places aren't meant to be explored. They're meant to be remembered. Stories that touch the soul stay with us forever. If you want more of these stories in your life, become a part of our cozy world. Subscribe to Velvet and Vice and gift yourself more sensual journeys in the videos to come. Anya was an urban explorer and photographer, obsessed with capturing the beauty in decay. She documented forgotten places, abandoned factories, derelict mansions, overgrown railways, not as ruins, but as tombs of memory. Her guide was a mysterious, self-drawing sketchbook she had found in an antique shop. Its blank pages would, at random, fill with intricate maps leading to lost locations. The ink appearing like a slow, invisible hand was tracing it. The sketchbook led her to the Granville Hotel, a once opulent resort that had closed its doors 50 years prior. Its owner, Daniel, was a historian and the grandson of the hotel's original proprietor. He was a man shackled by the past, not out of love, but out of duty, meticulously preserving the crumbling structure as a museum to a legacy that felt more like a burden. He saw Anya's arrival as an intrusion. She was a vandal with a camera, in his eyes, disrespecting his family's history for a cheap thrill. He valued preservation. She valued the poetry of entropy. Their conflict was immediate and heated. The sketchbook, however, had its own agenda. It began mapping the hotel's interior, not as it was, but as it had been. A ballroom, now home to pigeons and dust, would appear on the page filled with swirling couples. The empty swimming pool was depicted brimming with laughing swimmers under a crystalline sun. The phenomenon became impossible to ignore. When they stood together in a room matching a newly drawn map, the past would flicker around them, a ghostly echo of laughter, the scent of perfume and cigars, the faint strains of a jazz band. They weren't just seeing the past. They were standing in a thin place where memory bled into the present. Daniel, the rational historian, was forced to accept the impossible. Anya, the seeker of ghosts, found the echoes more vivid and tangible than she had ever imagined. They learned that the sketchbook was a creation of Daniel's grandmother, Eleanor, a woman who hadn't just owned the hotel, but had loved it as a living entity. She had imbued the book with the hotel's soul, its accumulated joy, its secrets, its heartbreaks. The final map the sketchbook produced was not of a room, but of a single, hidden safe behind a loose panel in the library. Inside, they found not jewels, but Eleanor's diary. The hotel hadn't failed due to financial ruin. It had been a sanctuary during a painful period in the city's history, a place where people had come to heal, to celebrate, to love, and to say goodbye. Eleanor had closed it not in defeat, but in reverence, when its purpose felt fulfilled. The ghosts weren't trapped. They were cherished memories the building refused to let die. This revelation shattered Daniel's perception of his burden. He wasn't guarding a tomb. He was the custodian of a beautiful, sleeping story. Anya, in turn, saw that preservation wasn't about stopping time, but about honoring it. On the night they finished reading the diary, they stood in the grand ballroom. The sketchbook, its final map complete, grew warm in Anya's hands. It projected one last, overwhelming vision: the hotel in its full glory, every room pulsing with light and life. And in the center of the ballroom, they saw Eleanor, who looked not at the past, but directly at them, and smiled, before fading away. The sketchbook went blank, its purpose fulfilled. The echoes fell silent, the memories now peacefully at rest. Daniel no longer saw a crumbling building. He saw a story that had been waiting to be understood. Anya no longer saw a ruin, but a home. He offered her a key, not just to the hotel, but to stay and help him write its next chapter. She accepted, her search for forgotten places finally over, having found one that remembered her in return. Stories that touch the soul stay with us forever. If you want more of these stories in your life, become a part of our cozy world. Subscribe to Velvet and Vice and gift yourself more sensual journeys in the videos to come.